What's up, everybody? We are headed to the Filipino-American Historical Museum, celebrating our culture and learning about Filipino veterans during World War II. Watching a documentary called The Long March. Looking forward to this. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Reden with Intentional Impact, and we're here at the Jax Filipinos sponsored event talking about Filipino culture and celebrating that, and also recognizing Filipino veterans. I'm here with
Redner Salonga. I'm the Vice President of Jax Filipinos and also a founding member of our Filipino-American National Historical Society, the Jacksonville chapter that we're looking to start.
Awesome. Well, thank you for what you're doing within our community. So, question for you is, can you tell me, like, what's one word that you can use to describe the culture and what it means to you?
I think one word, it was talked about a lot tonight, is Kapwa. I think just that shared identity. Being a Filipino, it's about community. It's not about ourselves. It's about encouraging and uplifting one another. So I think that's important, especially during this Filipino-American History Month, to know that we learn from one another and we grow together, and we are Kapwa people.
Yeah, for sure. How does your Filipino heritage or stories of your ancestors help you in leading today and what you're doing?
I think for me it's very much about just growing up in the U.S. I was just very naturally curious about the culture. I don't know if a lot of young generation Filipinos really kind of like delve in and research the culture, even the language. Like, I put it upon myself to learn the language. So marunong ako mag-Tagalog, even though I was born here in the U.S. And a lot of people don't. And it mainly came to the point of it's because I believe it's our purpose to know who we are, where we come from, to know our roots. So that's something I encourage the younger generation, is to really find out who you are and discover your identity. At the end of the day, we are Filipino, and what does that exactly mean? It's not just about pancit, lumpia, and the food, but there's more to that. So getting educated and knowing what that truly is about.
These things that we just learned and saw in the documentary is things that we weren't even taught.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like you said, you just got to ask those questions.
Yeah, especially with our, my Lola has passed, and my grandparents. But if your Lola and your Lola's still alive, asking those questions, asking about the struggle, and knowing truly like what sacrifice it took for them to come to America, and what it means to be Filipino American.
For sure. And then one final thing, if you could share one message from your family or your heritage that you want the next generation, to kind of carry forward, what would that be?
I would say to, again, be curious, to learn about your history, to not just, the food and everything and all the dances. A lot of times during October, it gets confused with being Filipino Heritage Month, but it's Filipino-American History Month. And why it's Filipino-American History Month, and what are those stories, and having the opportunity to learn those stories and, get into the books and know what your identity truly is. It's my encouragement to the younger generation, and to get involved in local organizations like Jax Filipinos, who are not only sharing the culture, but educating the culture about our history and about our roots.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the work that you're doing with Jax Filipinos and promoting our heritage and history. I know you got a book out, right?
So me and we have a channel, Tita and Kuya, where we really kind of uplift Filipino stories and Filipinos doing things in their community. So me and Tita have come from a background of working with autistic individuals and disabled individuals. So recently, during Autism Awareness Month, we launched a book called Bayani and the ABCs of Me, where we share a story about a Filipino boy, and just a way to connect autistic individuals and their families to one another, because there's not, if you research, there's not much out there. So check it out, and we may have some new books coming up.
Hey everybody, my name is Reden Dionisio. I'm here at the Jax Filipinos sponsored event celebrating our Filipino culture, heritage, and history. And today I have
Agnes Lopez. I am a commercial editorial photographer, and I am the photographer for the exhibit here today called The Faces to Remember. And it features Filipino World War II veterans, as well as American and other World War II veterans.
Well, appreciate you for
Thank you.
Taking part in this and doing what you're doing. So Agnes, tell me, when you think about being Filipino, what's one word or value that instantly comes to mind, and why that one? Pick your favorite.
I am going to say family. Family. That because in our culture, and for me, that is the most important thing above all. Family.
Anytime there's a gathering at home, it's always relating to family and food, right?
And you don't even have to be related. Like if you're
Right.
Filipino, we're family. Like it's, you know,
Bring all the friends.
It's you know, family is important.
So when we're talking about Filipino heritage, how does your Filipino heritage or stories from your ancestors?
Today, I am born and raised here, and I am just now learning so much about my culture, my history, and my heritage. And so I try to, whenever I go out now, I have so much pride, and I try to display that, whether it be the way I dress or, you know, the earrings that I wear, or just so it becomes a conversation and I can kind of open the door and let people ask, oh, something about me, and you know, so that's kind of how I try to live my life and do whatever I can to share who we are.
Represent the community and the culture. So in your line of work, you know, you mentioned you're a photographer. In your line of work or business, how does your heritage or history lead you in what you're doing and in your leadership?
I mean, everything I do now, I particularly why I did this exhibit is I know that I have a skill, and I wanted to be able to use my skill for good and for our community. So I try to tell stories that represent us and share our stories as much as possible. So I do a lot of passion projects that pertain to our community and our culture.
Appreciate you for
Thank you.
carrying that tradition. And one final question here is, you know, if you can share one message from your heritage or your family that our next generation can carry on, what would that be and why?
I would say to be curious, and to not only learn about your own culture, but learn about others, and to help you understand people and have compassion. I think curiosity helps that.
Awesome. Great
Yeah.
advice. Be
Thanks.
curious. All right, always ask questions. And Agnes, I appreciate you for taking
you.
the time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of this and sharing and loving our community, passing that forward to the next generation.
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
I have an Instagram at Agnes Lopez Photo. If you want to learn more about the Faces to Remember project, I have a website called faces2remember.com. And if you'd like to exhibit it at somewhere, just reach out. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Agnes.
Thank you.
So